Hey guys, how's it going? Toby here, and welcome to a brand new series of mine that is going to be very different indeed, and your suggestions are going to be very welcome in this series. This series is all about indie games. It's called In Detail, and it's going to be me reviewing little games for you guys, so you can see some of them and maybe see something you've never seen before, something a little bit interesting, something a little bit different. Now, I play quite a lot of these. I really do enjoy them. I think they're great fun, and obviously it's great because they're usually quite good value for money. Now, this one is Killing Floor. Let me tell you a little bit about the game. It sounds a bit morbid, and basically it's a zombie survival game. Similar in some ways to Left 4 Dead, but not really. I'll show you very much so how much this game does actually differ. Now, this game was released in May of 2009 and distributed through Steam and Tripwire Interactive's own website. They are the guys that developed and published this game. Now, the recommended retail price of this game is $14.99 in British pounds, $19.99 in US dollars, and $17.99 in euros. However, at the moment, on 21st of July 2012, there is a sale going on Steam, and you can get the game for $8.99 in British pounds, $11.99 in US dollars, and $10.79 in euros. So let's jump into a solo game, and I can show you what this game is all about. I will show you a bit of multiplayer gameplay as well, because it does differ greatly from the single player. When you're on your own, the enemies only do 25% damage of what they would usually do if you weren't playing on your own and if you were with some friends. Whilst you're with friends, there are a lot more enemies and they're a lot more difficult to kill. They also do a lot more damage. They're a little bit quicker as well. So everything scales depending on how many people there are in the game. Because obviously it's going to be very easy if there was, say, 4 people and it didn't scale. It'd be so easy. So it's a really, really good mechanic. Now, I'm going to leave it on normal. I am playing on my own for a little bit. Going on West London, the maps are fantastic. There are loads of maps, and you can even go onto random servers and download maps that other people have made, which is great. So let's jump into this game, and then I can talk to you a bit about the gameplay. So this is the starting screen that you come to when you begin a brand new game. Now, you can select your perk before you start the zombie slaying. The first perk is Field Medic. It allows you to heal your teammates at a much better rate. You're encouraged to use the medic gun, which is like an MP5 strapped with these darts that you can fire at your teammates to help heal them from a great distance. You get these perk effects as you level up. The more you level up, the better the perk effects become. As you can see, you get discounts, better body armor, and these change depending on which perk you're using. Now, the support specialist is encouraged to use shotguns. You get discounts on the shotguns, and you get more perks that are relevant to using shotguns and grenades and things like that. The sharpshooter are encouraged to use pistols, rifles, crossbows, everything like that, and because of doing that, you get less recoil, faster reloads, extra headshot damage. Really, really great. All you have to do to level up the perks is fill in these next level requirements. I've actually filled out the sharpshooter. That is max level. Level 6 is the top, and as you can see, to do that, you need to get 8,500 headshots. So I've played this game quite a lot. Great game, really do enjoy it. Now, each perk has its own next level requirements. For example, with the Commando, you have to kill 350 stalkers and deal 500k damage with the machine guns. That's for this level. It does scale, it does get more each level, and then it does enable you to get more perk effects. The Berserker encourages you to use melee weapons like katanas and axes and swords and chainsaws, stuff like that, and it does enable you to not be grabbed by the zombies, which is really, really good. But obviously you are up close to them, so they can just punch you in the face and, you get damaged. So the Firebug enables you to use a flamethrower and things like that. You can use it without the Firebug, but it's pretty much pointless, because without the Firebug, you can't use some weapons that allow you to get incendiary ammo, which is great. Demolitions, as you can all guess, is bombs, remote explosives, grenades, everything like that. And the next level requirements are just to deal damage with the explosives. So they are the perks that you can use. Let's jump into the game. So, I thought I would skip the first wave. Now, I have purchased some things from the shop. This is where the similarities with this and Left 4 Dead kind of stop. Whereas Left 4 Dead is a point A to point B, this is a wave-based mode, kind of like Horde mode, and you get to go to this shop interface after each wave. So this is the start of wave 2. More interesting enemies start to spawn from now. I've got a lever action rifle, and I've got a knife and some dual 44 magnums. So it should be good fun. Now that rocket you can just see there is from this guy. This guy's called a husk. He's a bit of a pain actually. He fires rockets from afar, and they do quite a lot of damage. These guys here are called the clots. They're the standard enemy that spawn on every single wave. Really annoying. They can grab you and they can stop you from moving, which is very difficult when you're on your own, because they start grabbing you, it can be very difficult to get away. Now this guy is the husk. Not too difficult to kill. One shot to the face and he's gone. That was a stalker. The invisible, really annoying things. They creep up on you so much. As you can kind of make them out from a mile off, but sometimes they do creep up on you quite easily. These things are the Gorefast, like the clots, but faster and with a large swingy knife. So a bit more dangerous, but they can't grab you. They just sort of swing at you, but they do a lot of damage compared to the clots. The clots sort of just maul at you a little bit. The Gorefast do a lot of damage. Now that you just saw is just called Z time. It's a slow motion mode that you get for basically getting headshots. It's a reward, and it allows you to be more precise with your shots. Get some headshots going, and you get Z mode, which is very fun indeed. Everyone likes a bit of slow motion. It's all good. Now I'm going to run to the trader. If you do so with your knife, you move a lot quicker. Now the similarities to this and Left 4 Dead are impossible to avoid. It's a zombie game. You shoot things, and there are a lot of zombies. You can do it in teams as well. This game is very good with friends. It's really enjoyable. I will show you some multiplayer in a minute. I'm going to play one more wave and have a bit more of a chat about the actual game. Now the game mechanics of this do scale depending on how many there are of you. Say I'm on my own now. The game is actually only dealing 25% damage of the zombies. So basically, if I was with another person, I'd be getting 100% damage from the enemies. So it does scale depending on how many people there are. If there are a lot of you, there are a lot more zombies, they do a lot more damage, and it's generally a lot more difficult. It's just very interesting when you get a lot of people in. And I will show you that once I jump into a multiplayer game. Now, as you can see, the graphics of this game are actually really good for an indie game. It uses DirectX 9, it has anti-aliasing, really nice shadow detail. You know, for an indie game, it's quite decent. Obviously, it's not amazing, you know, it's not going to be your sort of Crysis 2 graphics, but for an indie game, it's very good. The weapons look nice, the enemy skins look really decent, they're really interesting. At the moment, these aren't the standard skins that you would get if you just played the game. At the moment, they are the summer skins. They're doing a promotion where the game is a little bit cheaper. Like I said at the start of this video, that there is a siren. At the moment, it's disguised as the bearded lady. For the summer showdown, they are disguising all the enemies as clowns. Now, I'm going to lob a grenade at these guys because there are so many enemies over there. And hopefully, wow, Z time, there we go. Usually once you throw a grenade, you get Z time because you get so many kills. And it goes into slow motion, which is always awesome. Now I'm going to try and take out this husk. There we go. Now there's a cheeky little stalker behind me. But like I was saying, the graphics are genuinely really, really good. The weapons are good. And the skins are really interesting. The normal skins look a lot more different compared to this. This is the summer promotion. And everyone is dressed up like circus things. Circus characters, I guess you could say. So, very different to what the game usually looks like. Makes it a bit more interesting. They do quite a few of these. They do them for Christmas, they do them for Halloween, and they do them in the summer, which is quite interesting indeed. Now, I'm going to finish off this wave, and then I'm going to jump into some multiplayer, and I can show you how different the game is with a lot more people. It scales, and it's quite differently. So, let's jump into some multiplayer, and you can see that. So this is the multiplayer side of things. As you can see, I've jumped into a random game with these guys, and we're going to try and slay some zombies. Now, we are on the map called Farm. This map is pretty crazy. It's incredibly open, and it's just zombies can come from literally anywhere whatsoever. Very, very tense, especially when you start getting the special enemies. As you can see, there are a lot more enemies as normal. We are still playing on normal, but we have over 60 still to kill. That's because we are playing with so many people. There is 4 of us on this server, so the enemies have scaled. Now, if you remember, from my first wave, when I was playing my own, there was about 20 enemies. Now, as you can see already, we're tripling that. So there are a lot more enemies if you play online, because there are a lot more people, and it'd be unfair if you only had to kill 20 enemies on your first wave. Now also this is a lot more because I'm actually playing with a 7-wave server, so that means everything starts to get a little bit more hectic very, very quickly. So I'm going to cut this wave here because there isn't really much going on. I'll skip to the next wave where I've bought more weapons and I can show you the trading, because I have changed class. I'm actually using the support specialist, so in the next wave I'll be able to show you some shotguns and we'll see what it looks like. Let's jump to the next wave. So this is the next wave, and as you can see I have picked myself up a shotgun and we're trying to kill a husk. Now this does actually take a bit more damage to kill an enemy. I don't know why, but I do generally struggle with the shotguns. There are a lot of shotguns that you can pick up. There's the AA-12 double barrel shotgun. There is the HSG, which is a sort of semi-automatic one, really decent. But there's just generally a lot of variety in this game. In terms of the weapons, it's really good. This shotgun also does have a flashlight on it. You can turn on flashlights so it's easier to see in dark locations. Now, I do want to show you guys the trading so I can show you all the weapons. So let me cut to the trading center and I can show you guys more weapons. So this is the entire trading center. As you can see, there are so many shotguns. AA-12, there are so many machine guns, there's grenade launchers, pipe bombs, fireball launchers, claymore sword, katana, chainsaw, ACOGs, the SCAR, the M4, the AK, crossbows, dual hand cannons with Desert Eagles, dual magnums, so many pistols, a rocket launcher, the medic gun, an improved medic gun that is, MP5 medic gun, MP7 medic gun. There are just so many. That's pretty much all of them, but there are so much you can do in this game. So many perks, really, really interesting game. Great mechanics, the scaling works perfectly. Overall, it's just generally a very decent game. Now I'm going to cut to some more gameplay that I've got over the period of recording for this review, and I can just have a bit of a chat, summarize the game for you guys, and then we can finish the review. Let's jump into some gameplay. So this is the final bit of gameplay that I will show you. I've picked up the HSG-1 shotgun. Really great gun, really interesting. We are on the final wave of this game. This is where the final boss is appearing. As you can see, one enemy left, and you're about to see him round this corner. He is called the Patriarch, and he's an absolute monster. So much health. He's got a minigun. He uses rocket launchers. He can go invisible, and he can heal himself. So he's generally really, really difficult to kill. He can just pop up at any moment whatsoever. We are currently looking for him. He was there. He turned invisible. We have no idea where he has gone. A little crawler comes up to me. And this game is just generally really good. I just want to talk a bit about the game now. The graphics, I've said, are really decent. The weapons are really interesting. Great co-op play. I think it's more fun to play as a group. If you're on your own, it gets very boring by like the 4th wave. It's not that enjoyable. But if you're with a group of friends, it's really, really good to just get into, try and get as far as you can, and try and do the harder difficulties. And as you can see, I'm trying to kill the Patriarch there, and he's right in my face if you can make him out there, and he is there. Now, that, like I was saying, this game is great fun to play co-op. I really do recommend it. At the moment, it is fairly cheap, £9 on Steam, a great bargain. And there are a lot of things you can do in this game. Really interesting if you get a group of friends, all working different classes. Someone's a medic, someone's using a flamethrower or something like that. Someone's using shotguns, machine guns, rifles. If you work together, this game is fantastic. This is a spectator mode, by the way. Because I died, I'm watching these guys play. And the spectator mode's alright. It's not too bad. I don't know why they've put this horrible grainy sort of effect on it. I'm not a big fan. But you can watch what other people are doing whilst you die. So I'm going to cut to the end. We'll go back to the main menu. I can say few last things, and I'll show you the ratings of this game. What I give this game out of 10 in certain categories. Let's go to that. Now, these are the ratings that I would give Killing Floor. We've got an 8 for the gameplay. I think it's generally really decent. The overall story is quite good, and the mechanics of the game work very well. The graphics, I'd give a 7. Obviously, they're not Crysis 2. That'd be, around the 10 sort of mark. But the graphics are really good for an indie game. So 7, I think, is well deserved. Replayability is a definite 9. I could play this game for absolute hours if you're with friends. And finally, enjoyment. is an 8. The general enjoyment and fun of this game is really, really solid. I do enjoy it a lot, so that gives it an overall score of 8 out of 10. I really do recommend this game. I cannot recommend it enough. It's such a great game. If you get a bunch of you playing this game, bunch of your mates around playing this game, it is so decent and it's well worth the money. So that concludes this review. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it has been helpful, and thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care, have an amazing day, and goodbye.